Okay, before you comment on the video, please watch it, because this title might throw people off and say, but just please watch it. Anyway, hey guys, it's Joseph on the Game Man Productions channel. Now, this is something that bothers me when people say that you're black, you're Asian, or you're Hispanic, you should draw, or you're white, whatever ethnicity or race you may be. When people go to you, oh, you should draw characters from this, you should draw characters from that, just because you're of that race or ethnicity, and it bothers me because that isn't why you should choose your character to be a certain race or ethnicity. It really does bother me, because some people bring up the example about I'm a black person, so I'm going to just do it from where it comes to me. Some people are like, yeah, black people are misrepresented in games, yeah, still, but let's just keep it on manga. Yeah, in manga, yeah, somewhat they're sort of misrepresented, and you should, show, because you're a black person, you should show how they should be how they should be represented in these mediums. And I'm like, yeah, that's true, but it doesn't mean that I shouldn't force myself to create or write a character just for the sake of that. If it's going to add value to the story and the manga as a whole, just if it's going to add value to the manga as a whole, or if it's important to the manga, then I'll put it in there. And that's how it should be for any type of creator. They shouldn't feel forced. They shouldn't do tokenism. They shouldn't add in characters just so they can appeal to a wider audience. So they shouldn't feel they should do it just because they're a certain race or ethnicity. I think that's stupid. And I'm going to get onto the topic later regarding this as well, but I feel that is kind of stupid, you just doing it for frivolous reasons. Like, for me, example, like I said to you in my second video, I believe it was, I talked about how I had 4 main projects in mind. Project Con, I haven't gone into a lot of development with that, so I'm just not going to talk about that one at all, but let's just go through my 3 other projects that I know about. Gears of Wonder, which is the one I'm pushing at the moment and we're working on, and by the way, me and Jason are halfway through done with the storyboarding. We've got like 30 pages done so far, so yay. More talk about that later on in another video, but let's just stick to topic. In terms of that one, yeah, I have a white protagonist in that, and the reason why he's a white protagonist is because I remember I talked about how there are republics in the story, and there's 7 different ones. The republic he comes from is sort of meant to represent a lot of European countries. That's why, and if you look at Europe, the majority of people in Europe are Caucasian, so I just thought that works. That's the reason why I put that in there. Another one of my stories, which is sports manga I'm sort of developing. I have a mixed race protagonist, and there's a reason behind why he's a mixed race protagonist, and there's a big theme in the story as to why he's like that. And then the third one, which is Project A, so I'm just going to call it for now. That one has it's just a black protagonist, because him being black isn't just because, oh, I'm black, I should make a black protagonist. That actually ties into one of the later arcs in the series, and there's a heavy theme throughout the series. It's shown and starting. The reason why I have these certain characters the way they are, because it ties into the story, or because it makes sense. The Gears of Wonder, it makes sense, but Project 8 ties heavily into story, and the sports one is a bit of both. That's how I personally feel it should be. You should make your characters because of the story, not to just not have a group of people and then have a black one, a white one, an Asian one, and just do it for the sake of it, because you may misrepresentate a certain culture or ethnicity because you don't know about them. And I'm not saying you shouldn't try and experiment, yeah, but I just think you should know what you should learn part about creating. You should learn about and research about what you're trying to cover. That's how it's going to be more accurate, and that's how you're not going to misrepresent certain spaces in history, people, etc. So that's one thing. That's just one thing I wanted to get on about the whole. You should do this, you should do that. And another thing is, I'm just going to say this out there because I think his name's Terton. He does a lot of videos and he talks about this. Guys, don't feel pressured not to do. I mean, don't feel pressured by the media and people around you not to draw or write certain characters because you don't feel it would be accepted by society, all of that stuff, or accepted by people outside. Draw, write what you want. Don't do it because people won't. Don't do it because you think people will accept this or accept that, because that's just not going to work. You could be holding back something big just because you think it's not going to be accepted by other people. So just do what you need to do. Don't feel forced. It goes both ways. Don't feel forced by other people saying you should do something, and don't feel forced by them to change because you feel it won't be accepted. Just make sure the kind of characters you have in your story or whatever it is, the kind of characters and their traits should be coherent with the story, and it should add value to the story or just make sense. That's all I wanted to get out in this video. What are your thoughts on this discussion? I know it was a bit all over the place. That's all I really need to say. This has been Joseph, your friendly neighborhood anime and manga fan, and remember, keep drawing.